welcome to another Monday. Now, for this Monday session of Let's Get Real with Mona, we're doing something very special. I'm doing a special 12/12 Gateway of Miracles activation. Well, today is 12/12. And for those of you who are not aware of what 12/12 signifies, well, I'm going to give you a little bit information on that. But as you're coming in, please do let me know who's joining me today, where you're joining me from, and if you're ready to let go of the old, if you're ready to let go of the outdated programs and patterns that have been showing up in your life. And are you ready for the new? Are you ready for miracles in your life? Are you ready to align to your abundance? Because you see, it's not as simple as just thinking it and wishing it. We have to be ready for it. We have to ready ourselves for it. So I thought it's so amazing that 12/12 fell on a Monday, because then it fits perfectly with my Monday sessions on Let's Get Real with Mona. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mona Naidu. I'm an abundant living coach, a woman's empowerment mentor, a human behavior specialist, a spiritual teacher, and a philanthropist. I'm also an international speaker and an inspirational speaker. So I wear different hats at different times, but what really juices me up is teaching what I learn, teaching the wisdom that is shared with me by great teachers, and also the information that gets downloaded through me. And I guess when I asked the question today in my Facebook group, what's your favorite way of celebrating, right? Because December is the month of celebration. That's our theme. That's our abundance frequency. And this is one of the ways I love celebrating an auspicious day, because 12/12 is an auspicious day. And just to give you a heads up, every month, the day that corresponds with that month is an auspicious day for manifesting, if you didn't know that. So we've got 12 months of auspicious days, right? We've got 12 months, and there's one day in each month that's an auspicious day, because the vibration of that month is amplified. So there's a tip for you. And you know what's coming next after 12/12? 1/1. We get to start again. So what is 12/12 all about? And just be aware that this year, today, is the 10th anniversary of 12/12/2012. Because on 12/12/2012, what happened was the shift, the great shift that we know that started, it was the initiation of humanity's awakening. Now, many people have been on the path of awakening for a long time. But what happened in 2012 on the 12th of December was like this global, massive, it was humanity's awakening. That was the beginning. And over these years, what's been happening is the old systems have been disintegrating. Now remember, when the old controlling systems are disintegrating, dissolving, moving away, at the same time, there's clutching, there's control, there's more control than we've ever experienced in our entire lifetime since 2020. That's like 2 years ago. We've witnessed it at its peak over that time, right? Now, this whole shift started on the 12th of December 2012, right? Because we have, as humanity, been on this journey to shift this frequency of the old. And those of us that have been alive over this period, well, we're the ones that are being asked to do this. So today is such an auspicious day. And I've asked you to join me today to celebrate this day, because you see, celebration is so important for all of us. You know, if you didn't catch my intro on celebration, it was in the previous session last week. So you can go ahead and watch that if you didn't get a chance yet. But until we choose to celebrate the universe's support of our journey, until we choose to celebrate the gifts that comes to us from the universe, God, the divine source, spirit, whatever it is you believe in, right? We don't just live this life by accident, by default, by someone else telling us what to do. We get to live this life purposefully. We get to design our life, and the universe supports us at every juncture as we live our life, at every juncture along our designed life, right? So 1212, I call this the gateway of miracles, because what's happening, the energies are so potent, and it's especially so when we come to the end of the year, because you see, the whole year things have been happening. Things have been happening for us to let go, release things, become aware of things, right? And then connect with our true essence. It's a journey. It really is like going to school. You know, each grade that you go to in school, and then you get through and you learn the different things you have to learn. Then you come to the end of the year, you get your report card, you get your stars, your trophies, your accolades, your certificates, and then you move to the next year. Now, so too is life, right? Each year brings with it certain experiences, right? Certain experiences. Some years we get challenged quite a bit. You know what I'm talking about. And some years it's a little bit easier, right? But every year has its ebb and flow in that year. Every month has its ebb and flow. So we are just like nature. You know, we have our ebbs and flows. And when we get to live life and understand it like that, well, we don't allow what appears to be a negative to hold us down. We understand that it's part of the journey of our growth. So like we are in school, we don't sit there and say, oh, I can't do this, and we sit in that same grade. No, we do something to move forward. And for some of us, if we don't get it, well, get to understand it well, then we may sit in the same grade, but then we have another opportunity to understand it, to learn what we have to learn, and then to move forward. So today, like I shared, we're going to be releasing the old, right? And we're going to be stepping into the frequency of miracles. Now, I don't know about you, but I believe in miracles. I see miracles every single day. How about you? When that sun comes out, for me, that's a miracle. When I see clouds in the sky, that's a miracle. When I see birds flying up in the sky, and then suddenly they all change direction and they all move in the same direction that they've changed, without bumping into each other, without crashing and falling to the ground, that's a miracle. The mere fact that I get to wake up every day, that's a miracle. The mere fact that I can go to sleep and all my organs are still working without me having to do anything, that's a miracle. So, what am I talking about? Right? Because sometimes people get a bit uncomfortable when we talk about miracles. Miracles are around us all the time, right? The fact that I can be here and be having this conversation with you, be chatting to you over, well, across the seas, across lands, across distances that we cannot even fathom if we're thinking about it on other levels and dimensions, that's a miracle. So miracles are around us. And when you can be in that energy of awe, that's when your life shifts. Because remember, we have to keep aligning to our abundance. We have to keep checking our frequency. And that's why we've got to connect with the miraculous frequencies that show up for us at different times of the year. Right? And today is one such day. Today, yes, there's so many different explanations of it, and it can be quite deep into, the astrological, the numerological explanations of it, and they can go into deep spiritual aspects of it. But that's not what we're going to do today. We're going to understand a simple truth. Today, we have the opportunity to feel alive again. We have the opportunity to be focused again on our dreams, on the beauty that life has to offer us. We get to activate our clarity. We get to activate our next level of abundance, whatever that may be for each of us. We get to make a wish, right? Whatever that is for you. But now before we do that, we have to make some space for it, right? Because too many times we want to experience the new, we want to change our lives, we want to change something and, make it a little bit better. But what we do is that we haven't made space for it. We're still holding onto an old thought, an old belief, an old relationship, an old attitude. We may be still holding onto the past. And I'd love to share this with you. Because as much as I've been doing work on myself, and for those of you who know me, you know that this journey has been a really long time. It's been a journey of about 3 decades, right? Different things at different times. But I'm always learning because I know that every step of my journey is part of my growth. It's the same for you. You're no different to me. But what I realize is that on some level, I was all holding on to the past. And just this past week, actually this weekend, I was holding on to an old identity of what was. You know how some people hold on to the good old days and they look at now and they think, oh, life is so, unsupportive. I wish I was there. And what happens is that as long as we are there in the past, we're never here in the present, where manifestation actually gets activated so that it shows up in whatever the future is. Because remember, the future is 1 nanosecond from right now, right? The past could be an old relationship. The past could be an old hurt. It could be an old trauma. It can be anything. But until we let go of the past, that space where the new wants to come in, the new version of us, well, there is no space there. So the new version of us is circling around us all the time, that energy, because first it's in the energy that we embody and anchor in before it shows up in the material world in front of us. And I guess that's what I wanted to invite you to do right now. Right? If you're willing, say, I am willing. If you're willing and ready to let go of the past. And this past can be anything. It can be an identity, like me, holding on to the past, believing that I was powerful in my past job, my career, believing that my power came from my titles. I have been working on it, but there was still a little hook still there. It was still there. And how magical is it that I got the opportunity to really get to the point of origin this weekend to be able to release it, right? So what is it for you right now? If you just take a moment, what is it for you? What has been a theme in your life? What keeps showing up no matter what you do in your life? There will be one recurring theme. For some, it may be like a repeating money issue. But I'll ask you to go a little bit deeper, like what is it? What's showing up relating to that money issue? For some, it may be a person. For some, it may be a work environment, right? Some of you, it may be a romantic relationship in that space. It may be a family member. For some, it may be something related to your spirituality. And like I said, for me, it was the fear of abusing my power. And this didn't just pop up. I had to go deeper and deeper and deeper. But right now, there's something that has been some kind of discord, something you may have not been very satisfied with. And if you're truly, truly honest, you'll know that it's shown up repeatedly over the years. It pops in at different times. What is that? Right? And whilst you're thinking about that, I'd invite you to place a ball of light in front of you, right? To visualize that there's a ball of light in front of you. And this ball of light is quite buoyant, so it's being held down by a string right now. And when you're ready, and if you know what it is that's been holding you in the past, what it is that's been making you feel less than, whatever it is, whoever it is, place it into the ball right now. Place it into the ball, right? And I'm sure you may be feeling a little bit lighter right now. Okay. And it doesn't matter whether your eyes are closed or your eyes are open. Let's just let go of one thing. If you have more than one thing, it's fine. You can put it into the ball of light. But if it's just one thing for now, put it in there. Okay? And now, I'm going to ask you again, are you willing to let it go? And if you are, say yes. Right? And then I would ask that you untie this ball of light, which is like a balloon. You untie it from where it was being held, and you let it float off into the sky. Right? And I want you to see this. I want you to visualize it. See it going, 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 until you can see it no more. It's gone. Right? Are you feeling any lightness in your body? Because you should be feeling a lightness in your body right now. Because somewhere in your body this was sitting. And here's what we have to do now. Right? If you're feeling a bit wobbly or whatever, please make sure that you have some water, that you just take a moment to take a deep breath in, because it's just a shift. Remember, we carry things for such a long time that they become part of us. We carry things not even understanding and realizing that we're carrying things that don't even serve us. So if you're feeling a bit strange right now in whatever way, just know that you've allowed yourself to let go of something that has been burdening you, that has been holding you back. Now, if you're ready, right, you've created space wherever it is. And our bodies are a great, great, great vessel to help us understand how we hold on to things. You know, you could have a headache. You could feel a bit lightheaded. You could have a pain in your thumb, like I had this past weekend. You could have some trouble in your tummy or on your legs, somewhere in your body. Right? So now there's space that has been created in your body. There's flow being created because whatever was sitting there, you let it go. All right? I'm just here helping you facilitate that. Now, you've let something go. What would you love in its place, right? Because too often we say what we don't like, but how often do we ask for what we would love to have? And remember, today is all about you wishing and bringing and calling forth a miracle for you, right? Because just one shift can have a ripple effect in your life. So what is it, right? What is it? And today I'm going to ask you to do something different. I'm not going to ask you to look for something in the physical. What is it? A feeling. What is the feeling that you would love to experience? Is it a sense of freedom? Is it love? Is it joy? Is it laughter and playfulness? Is it gratitude? Is it appreciation? Right? What is it? What is that emotion that you would love to be in every day for as many hours as possible in a day? Would you love to be happy? Right? Whatever that means for you. So you get to choose today, right? Because remember, the things make us feel that emotion that we want to feel. So today I'm asking you to do an advanced, practice here. I'm asking you to focus on the emotion. Because this is what celebration is about, right? It's bringing in the emotions of merriment, of happiness, of joy, of fun, of laughter, of gratitude, of appreciation. So pull that in. Pull that in. Call it out. Speak it out loudly. You see, many people get confused about how healing and activation works. Many people think that you can only do it with your eyes closed in certain ways. No, it happens like this, with you and I talking. We can release stuff and we can bring in stuff that supports us. So right now, whatever that frequency is, and I'm going to ask you, to tap into the frequency of the rainbow. Because if you think about it, who is not sitting in absolute wonderment, right? Is there such a word such as wonderment? Well, if there isn't, we're making one today, right? In absolute wonder and awe when you see a rainbow. Because that's what miracles are made up of. A rainbow? How is that even created? How does that even show up? The stars are magnificent. The sun is magnificent. But when you see a rainbow, because what's the myth about a rainbow? At the end of a rainbow, and I say at the both ends of a rainbow, is a pot of gold. And what is the pot of gold? The pot of gold is your true, authentic essence. It's all your magnificence. It's your gold, the gold that sits within your heart. So right now I'm asking you to draw, play with that rainbow. Bring the frequency of happiness, of love, of joy, whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. Whatever you want to bring more of, call that forth now. Claim it. Make a wish. Speak the word of absolute happiness in your life every day. Speak the word of absolute joy in your life every day. Speak the word of absolute truth in your life every day. Right? Bring whatever it means for you. I'm sure that you're feeling that your vibration has shifted, because that's what happens. If you connect to the rainbow, the frequency of the rainbow, and then you bring that down, an emotion, right? That's when you start feeling lighter. That's when you tap into the vibration of abundance, the frequency of abundance. We're celebrating today, so it's amplified, right? We're celebrating an auspicious day. We're celebrating the gateway of miracles, because anything's possible. If you are present today and your intention is crystal clear, and you've used the opportunity to let go of something and bring in a new frequency to anchor in the joy, right? Because everything that's to bring you joy after that will show up in your life. Whatever it is to give you the opportunities of joy or happiness, support, sacred collaboration, divine love, more light frequencies into your life, lightness, great health, right? All that will come through when you lock in an emotion that you would love to experience every day. So how's that feeling for you right now? How's that feeling? Right? Because here's the thing. It's one thing that we do an activation today, but you've got to be mindful that every day you are practicing it, okay? Because you're going to get the 3D stuff showing up. Being in a positive emotion, not because you're pretending, takes practice. Being in the frequency of love, of joy, of gratitude, of appreciation, of abundance, is all 5D. So to be there, you have to be aware when the 3D stuff shows up. When somebody pushes your buttons, when somebody gets you upset, you feel sad or whatever it is. It's not to ignore that, but to allow it, then let it go. I've taught you how to let it go today. It's a simple process. And then lock in the frequency that you'd love to be in. And every day is a practice. And remember, every time we practice, we get better and better. And then what happens? That's how we align to our abundance in the physical realm. Because that's how instant manifestation actually occurs, is when you're locking in the frequency. Then you're thinking about what it is you'd love to experience. Would you love to go on a holiday with your family, right? Then lock it in there. And then pay attention to stay in that frequency until it materializes, right? So we've come to the end of today's clearing and activation. And you have until the 21st of December, the solstice, the summer solstice here in the southern hemisphere and the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, to continue being in this frequency of miracles, to be in this frequency of abundance, to be in the frequency of prosperity. You have the opportunity, and I would encourage you to use this time, because this is what celebration is about. It's not just about going out and having a party only, right? It's about celebrating the precious, gifted opportunities that come our way. So I'm going to leave you with that for today. And I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. How did you experience this today? Because like I said, very often when we think about spiritual practices and spiritual work, we may get confused about how it happens, how it's done. But there's many different ways to do it, right? So I'd love to hear from you. How did you experience today? The simple process of clearing and the simple process of activating the gateway of miracles for you and aligning to your abundance. I'd love to hear what shows up for you as well. And I'd love to hear how your daily practice is going with this as well. Because this is it. Until you show up for you, nobody can. And you are the architect of your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the author of your own story, your own book. So are you ready? Are you ready to allow your light to shine, to be the light, to share the light, to express in light, in whatever form it shows up. So until next time, have a blessed 2012, but we are in 2022. Have a blessed 12/12 magical day, and enjoy the frequencies that have been activated today and will be here up until the 21st of December and a few days after that as well. So until then, ciao for now.